Okay, thank you, Mr. Tewati, for joining my presentation this morning about my project that I've been working throughout the course. Um, so I'm going to explain the how I begin my project. So here is my presentation called e-commerce website, and these are the main tools that I provided to build my applications. I know that all of this is new to me, but throughout the course, I was able to learn new things from these tools. And here are the setups. Um, Make sure you follow these steps in order to successfully set up the project on your side. And here are some of the other tools that I provided for Node.js is for providing packages, Postman for building the or test for API, and the Docker is for connecting the database to the applications. And this one, Ubuntu is for the Linux server that I use to deploy my app on. And here are all of my libraries, some of the libraries that I provided to manage the application works better. And here are my outcomes to display the product online. And the website will allow create their managed account, the payment successfully. The features such as filtering, pagination for managing the product, deploy my project on live server. So, and here is my measurement that I will deeply go through each of the measurement after explaining how the structure and how I begin my project. So basically, I provided the time management for my project throughout before the course start so that I could successfully complete the project on time. And so basically I was doing an ordering food online proposed project, but but I changed it to e-commerce website, which is also display product, or it can be also display any of the order food as well. Like it's also the same thing. But right now I'm um just gonna talk about how the structure of my API created by .NET. So basically API with folder which created by .NET, um, which receives the HTTP request and display and get all the data from the database and display them on the client server, which is this folder. And it so infrastructure which contains the database and get data from the core which holds all the entities of the business. Um, so right now I'm just gonna go through all the 5 measurements. The first one is managing the product. So at first I created a controller about the product, which holds all of these HTTP requests from all the data from the database, which is inside the infrastructure folder. And as we can see here, it also has cached 600, which can allow to the website or the application works better. Um, and by going up page by um, page to page, like back and forward without a loading interceptors, is like already the data is already like stored in the history. And after that, inside the infrastructure folder, I create the store the product repository, which holds the all of the all of the informations to build the database and store them inside the store context. And after that, inside the core, which I have provided all of the entities of the product, which holds all of these details to build the database inside the infrastructure. Also for under core folder under interface, which holds the iProduct repository, which holds all of these methods that allows to fetch data from the database inside the infrastructure and infrastructure folder. And after everything is set up, I make a test each of the API inside the Postman, and after that, I linked it to the client server created by Angular on the source and environment folder. And inside the environment, it holds all the variable API URL of the API localhost port, which get all the data into the applications display on the client server. And the second measurement is the account, managing the account. What I did was the same thing, like providing the controller which holds all of the various methods to check if the email exists and also to provide the address as well, and the register to allow people to, or the client to create their account. Inside the infrastructure folder, and the core folder, it contains all of the entities, or under identity folder, which holds all of the requirements details to build the database about the account, managing the account inside the infrastructure folder under identity, app identity, DB context, which these informations that needs to provided by the client to build their accounts on the applications. And the third measurement is successful payment transactions. I also did the same thing, like following the same format of creating a controller of payment, which using the HTTP request, which allows people to notify them whether their payment is successfully or failed. And inside the infrastructure folder, it contains a service called product payment services. And this refers to provide some of the operations or data to other part of the applications. And also it connects with the Stripe settings, which allows to encrypt all the Visa card of the person or each client. So Stripe is a third-party authentications that used to encrypt all of the Visa card information of the client, and also it contains either the order payment is failed or succeeded, and this will notify the the client whether their payment is successful or failed. And inside the core under interface, I created a iPayment services, which contains these main three method that I use it inside the services that used to hold the history of the payment transactions. And the fourth measurement is the managing of the product, providing pagination and filtering. So now let's go and inspect that inside on my Angular applications. So basically here are the paginations that I provided to display all of the product, all of the total product of 18. And it has page 2 and page 3, which contains all of the product, the types and the brands. And I also provide these features to allow them to choose which of the brands and the types they want to or they're more interest in. I also provide sorting for price from higher to low or low to higher. Um, and the third, the last measurement of my project is the deployment. So in overall, um, I I I gathered all of the summary informations by creating a publish folder which contains the main part of the applications of my project by using .NET publish, create release, and publish skinnet solution, so that it can minimize all of the storage of the product, I mean of the project, and it before it deploy them on the on live server. So by doing that, I went to Demo Digital and create a droplet um with assigning it with Docker and Ubuntu, which is the Linux server that I use to deploy my application on. And after that, um, inside the VS Code under setting JSON, it contains some of the informations of the that IP address or the droplet IP address and the port as well, and the password that I could get into the root of that Linux server and create this folder, skin it, and published or upload the publish folder, which is under the mappings. So what I did is to download an extension called deploy reload, and by doing that um I click on the deploy reload deployment and choose packages. It will automatically tracks this setting JSON packages um that it will publish this file called publish um this folder. Um so now let's go and inspect all of the outcomes that I provided for my applications. So the five outcomes that I provided is to first is to display the product online for the client to to buy it on my applications, and also to provide the managing features for the product, which is the sorting, the paginations, and the print and the types as well. And the third one is the payment transactions, which is, oh, but before that, the the other measurement was managing the account. For example, logging out, and it has two options that was given to me, like sign up and log in. Like, so I have all these three account that I created. Um, like now we can sign in as Pop Samoa, and now let's go and test for the final measurement is the payment transactions. So let's add in a cart or the product in the cart, and let's go in the cart. We have all these cool features that summarize all of the details about the product, their prices, whether we want to add another product, same product, and also we can delete the the product from our order list. So let's go and go to page checkout and add in our information. For payment. And now we can choose the delivery method, and it will automatically add in the shipping and handling price and total up with the total price of our ordered, and then go to review our product that we about to purchase and go to payment. And now we can add in our card information. So in the Stripe, third-party authentications, they have an example Visa card that allows the developer to test further applications whether the payment is successful or not. To add in the information and submit order. And now we can see the order has been confirmed, and we can also view it, and also have an option for us to view our previous order that we made on this applications as well. So these are that I have an order made like all this history of our payment transactions that contains all of our summary about our product that we ordered, and the final measurement final outcomes was to successfully deploy my applications. As we can see, we can finally see my project has been successfully deployed on this server port or IP address using demo project. And hope you like my presentation about my project, and feel free to ask more questions if you want to know more, and or if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and thank you.